Different thing, you know, and most people don't pole vault, obviously. I mean, it's just something that's odd, it's different. It's kind of addicting, you know. If you don't do it for a while, you just get anxious, you just want to come down to the track and jump. It was April 19th, it was a Saturday, and I had to work like most Saturdays that I don't have track meets. And at lunch, one of my buddies called me up, you know, and he's getting on me about getting the bike out and going riding. So we met up and hit the back roads. Came down to this intersection, a T intersection. Took a right-hand turn, and at that point it was just straight uphill, and there's no signs. And got to the top of the hill. Basically, I just lost track of the road. I lost my bearings. In my path was a power box and then a corner post to a fence. First thing I was thinking is, if anything's fractured at all, I can't go to state track. I'm done, no matter what.
We were outside doing yard work for the first time in the spring, and we got the phone call on Greg's cell.
First thing Garrett said was Dad, I messed up, I wrecked my motorcycle. And so I left everything lay and we got in our vehicle and went up to where he was.
He was laying out in the field beside his bike, and he had a lot of blood because he had lacerations on his face. And we had to help him to the truck, and he was in a lot of pain.
Initial assessment for Garrett, he had blunt traumas to his chest, abdomen, pelvis, and thigh. I was anticipating internal bleeding of his liver or spleen, perhaps a femur fracture.
My nurse was actually the mother of an ex-pole vaulter from Richland Center, so she kind of understood the love for it. And I just remember telling her, please make sure nothing's broken, because I gotta jump, you know what I mean? And I just kept repeating it over and over and over.
Well, when I first saw Garrett after his accident, we started looking at his side and things and just noticed all the bruising that was going on. I mean, it was actually amazing that that's all that happened to him. Getting him ready to compete for regionals was one of the first things I thought of. I didn't think there would be a way. I really didn't. I didn't let him know that, but you know, deep down I was sick, because I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to compete in regionals, to even try to get back to the state tournament. But he was with the mindset that he was going to do it.
Sharon knew pretty much everything that needed to be done for me. I mean, she had a whole bunch of exercises laid out for me to do, how many reps, how many sets, every day.
The turning point, I think, was a week before regionals, and I sent him down to the track, and he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go down and try it. And I said, look, if you're going to try it, you're going to try it today.
It was a pretty exciting moment, you know, that it all kind of laid in place. It's kind of hard to believe. 6 weeks later, whatever it was, I was already jumping at state. Sharon actually made it to regionals. She made sure I was feeling all right, and she taped me up before I jumped. And on top of that, she's just very supportive. She believed in me.
Unfortunately, we've had more than one visit to the ER with Garrett, and I can't say enough good things about the Richland Hospital, or the doctors, or the nurses.
As the child of an aging parent, you find yourself really having to lead two lives, theirs and yours. you take over everything. You take over financial decisions, you take over medical decisions, you take over the running of minuscule routine matters. And so when something happens medically, I think the first reaction you think is, oh God, here we go again. One of the CNAs discovered a fairly advanced lump, and this was right before Christmas time. Dr. Sinnett made a visit here, and upon examination was quite sure that it was probably cancer.
I talked with Louise regarding having a tissue diagnosis obtained here versus going to Madison or elsewhere. She preferred to stay locally, of course, and so I talked with our surgeon, and they made the decision together to end up with a lumpectomy, to go in and do as minimal surgery as possible.
Vera is a wonderful lady. I know that she came in and she was a little apprehensive about, her surgeries, her procedures. She liked to have her daughter involved, and I think as we went over things and Louise was kind of involved in her care also, that seemed to help Vera a lot, so that she was more relaxed and wouldn't be so apprehensive about her surgery and the care after.
I was relieved when I walked in the room to see that Sherry Nelson was her nurse. At the time, my mother was having quite a bit of difficulty mentally and emotionally, so she could tend to be really, really difficult to deal with. And Sherry was so patient and so comforting to be. Really helped to calm my mother just by walking in the room. I would get a feeling that, okay, there's somebody here that I know I can trust. The surgery itself was quite brief, actually. It only took about an hour. Dr. Delventhal is a marvelous technician in that way. He spoke to me immediately afterwards and told me that all went as expected. There were no complications, and the experience was very, very positive.
Post-surgically, Vera has done just phenomenally well. There's, to this point, no evidence of specific recurrence. So I think she's done extremely well in her setting, so easily transitioned from crisis to stability again.
At one point, she did visit the Geriatric Clinic that's run by Dr. Smith, and the team there just let me cry and cry and cry and unload. They had recommendations for her medically, but I think most important, it was knowing that there was someone there who could listen and understand exactly what I was talking about and offer some concrete advice on what to do. There is something truly wonderful about small-town medicine, and that is that when I call, when I walk in the door, I am not going to be a stranger at the Richland Hospital.